My brother called me a whore in front of a lot of people, so my husband knocked him out. Last Saturday was my dad's 60th birthday party. About 30 family members were there. Everything was going great until my brother Jake started drinking and getting aggressive. Jake's been struggling since his divorce 6 months ago. His ex-wife took the kids and he's been bitter about everything, but he'd never directed that anger at me before. Around 7 p.m., Jake cornered me by the kitchen. He started going off about how I think I'm better than everyone because I have a perfect marriage and perfect life. I tried to walk away, but he kept following me, making snide comments. My husband noticed and pulled Jake aside for a private conversation. After that, Jake seemed to calm down. He went back to drinking with our cousins, and I thought the drama was over. I was wrong. An hour later, we were all standing around listening to my dad give a speech about family. That's when Jake decided to make his move. He walked right up to me in front of everyone and said, loud enough for the whole party to hear, "You know what you are? You're nothing but a spoiled bitch who thinks she's better than all of us." The entire party went silent. My dad stopped talking mid-sentence. I felt my face turn red with embarrassment. I saw my husband's expression change instantly. He stepped between Jake and me without saying a word. "I already warned you," my husband said quietly. "Don't make me tell you again." Jake laughed and said, "What are you gonna do about it? Hit me? Go ahead, tough guy." That was his mistake. My husband punched Jake square in the face. Jake went down hard, hitting the patio concrete. Blood immediately started pouring from his nose. The whole party erupted. Women were screaming, men were rushing over, and my mom was hysterical. My husband stood over Jake and said, "I told you not to disrespect my wife. You brought this on yourself." Jake was conscious but dazed. His nose was clearly broken and his lip was split open. He kept spitting blood and groaning. My mom immediately started screaming at my husband, calling him a psycho and threatening to call the police. My dad was trying to help Jake while shooting angry looks at my husband. "You could have killed him," my mom yelled. "He'll live," my husband replied calmly. "Maybe next time he'll think before running his mouth." We left immediately after that. My parents were furious, and several relatives were giving us dirty looks. But honestly, I wasn't upset about what my husband did. Jake had been humiliating me in front of our entire family. My husband defended me when no one else would. The next day, my mom called me crying. She said Jake was in the hospital getting his nose reset and stitches in his lip. She demanded that my husband apologize and pay for Jake's medical bills. I told her absolutely not. Jake got exactly what he deserved. That's when she gave me an ultimatum. Either you divorce that violent man or we're cutting you off completely. You have 1 week to decide. I hung up on her. 3 days later, my dad called to mediate. He wanted me to come over alone so we could talk sense into me without my husband there. My husband refused to let me go alone. He said if he wasn't welcome, then I wasn't going either. We went together or not at all. When we showed up together, my parents were clearly annoyed. My mom made passive-aggressive comments about my husband being controlling. Jake was there too, looking like he'd been hit by a truck. His nose was bandaged, his left eye was black and purple, and he had stitches on his bottom lip. My parents wanted my husband to apologize and admit he was wrong. My husband refused. "I'm not apologizing for defending my wife," he said. Jake was warned, and he chose to ignore that warning. That's when the real truth came out. Jake finally admitted why he'd been so hostile. He'd been stalking my social media obsessively since his divorce. Seeing my happy marriage made him feel worse about his own failures. The final straw was when he overheard me telling my mom that my husband and I were trying to have a baby. That sent Jake over the edge because his ex-wife was pregnant with her new boyfriend's child. "Seeing you happy while my life is falling apart just made me snap," Jake mumbled through his swollen lips. I asked my parents why they didn't stop Jake when he was clearly out of line. My dad said he wanted to intervene, but my mom told him not to because Jake was just having a hard time. "What about me having a hard time being publicly humiliated?" I asked. They didn't have an answer for that. My husband then asked my dad a simple question. "If someone called your wife a bitch in front of 30 people, what would you do?" My dad said he would have a conversation with that person but would never resort to violence. My husband laughed. "Then you're a weak man who doesn't deserve respect. Any man who won't defend his wife isn't much."